Right, I am back with post-commentary this time around. Let me make some folders in the timeline tab. I think it's a great idea to put all the head layers in one folder, then make another folder for armor layers for this video. I'm going to start making the character's white scarf. Thing is, the background is also white, so maybe I should make the background a different colour so you can tell the scarf is meant to be white. By the way, I am including voice commentary for the rest of this above Viewpoint series because of various reasons. The first reason is because it's hard to read text as well as see the artwork motion at the same time. Some people end up needing to rewatch parts because they are reading the titles at the bottom first, then see what is going on. The second reason is something crazy. Recently there's been a few Let's Players cheating, quotation marks, by getting someone else to play for them and not even put any commentary on it afterwards. So I'm including commentary so you can tell it's actually me. Now, obviously most people don't fake Let's Play, so don't worry, not everyone does that. I think the reason why people like live streams is because the viewers get to see streamers in action. And I was asked by one of my subscribers, who's also one of my best friends, "Mate, will you do live streams?" And I did tell him maybe. But the thing is, I don't think people outside of UK are willing to stay up just to see me draw or do Let's Plays at 3 AM in the morning. Also, I get interrupted a lot. If you look carefully in my Let's Plays, there are a lot of cuts and transition effects because I got interrupted a bunch of times, so yeah. Yeah, I end up altering the stuff lots and lots of times. Trust me, you don't want to see me do this at ×1 speed. I did say this on the previous episode, but this is time-lapsed at 4 times speed. This is why I don't do live streams, because can you imagine watching me draw something at 2 AM in the morning? I don't think anyone's gonna have that level of patience, or is gonna be willing to sacrifice sleep just to watch someone draw something at ×1 speed instead of it being ×4. It's like daytime. Similar thing with Let's Plays. I don't think anyone would want to see me restart from the beginning of a stage time and time again on a retro game. Also, I have a busy schedule right now, so that's why I haven't uploaded a lot of videos. There has been a few months where I uploaded like 6 videos in 1 month, but that was because there were less than 30-minute videos, well, some of them anyway, and I recorded like an hour's worth of video content one day, so I split them up into 20-minute videos. Like Streets of Rage 4, I actually recorded the first 2 episodes in one go, then I edited them and uploaded them at 2 different days. So yeah. You know, I've actually came across quite a few people offline who have real stories where they have fallouts. It's like, yeah, I think a lot of us actually came across that sort of situation before. There's a real story where 2 boys literally had a fallout over a doorway, right? And it's where, I wasn't there when this happened, right? And it's where what happened was, there was like 2 boys that met up at a doorway and the door was already open, and one of them said, you go back, no, you go back, and they started escalating like loads to the point where they started pushing each other over and stuff, and it's where they actually had a fallout. And by the way, they were actually friends with each other, but it's like, you know, it's just like, what? So people actually get into a real like push fight over a doorway? I mean, when I was like at primary school, believe it or not, there used to be like these basketballs that we used to play with, and I saw 2 like 10-year-old boys getting a literal fist fight over a basketball. And it's just like, you know, it's just like, I get that they were like 10-year-olds, but it's like, still, it's just like, really? It's just like, well, unfortunately I don't like 2021, because I think the year 2021 has actually been a much worse year than 2020 is. If you're wondering why, it's actually not COVID related, believe it or not. It's actually because I had 3 fallouts with people online, but I'm not going to say who they are. But yeah, that's just one part of it, right? And there's another part where, you know that you could be someone's patron on Patreon, and you give them like, let's say £3 a month to be able to get some cool rewards and stuff. Basically, I'm not going to say who it was, right? And it's where They're a really nice person, by the way. They actually talk to me a lot, right? And it's where they like make MP3s, and they're available to people who give £3 a month. But if you do like £1 a month instead of £3, it's where you just get the Patreon exclusive thing, right? And it's where that was quite good as well, right? And so on the £5 tier, which later became £4.50 tier, is where they do live streams. And it's where they actually talk to you directly. You can actually ask them questions. Obviously safe for work ones, but you know. And it's where the problem was that I was on the £5 tier at first, right? But the problem was that they kept being interrupted during the live stream. So basically people had to, like myself, had to go sit there waiting for them to clear the distraction out and to go off screen and then come back. It's like, wow, that's 10 minutes of our lives gone just because they were unprepared for that. And it's where the live streams were pretty alright, right? But the problem was that in their Patreon thing, it said, oh, I do a live stream every month. But the problem was that they only did one every 2 months. So I thought to myself, well, why should I give £5 a month for something that, I don't get every month? And it does say on the Patreon thing, oh, I do it every month. So I thought, okay, let's go down to £3 here. So it's where they gave MP3s, right? And that was guaranteed for a very long time. But like a few months ago, suddenly they stopped uploading anything onto Patreon, right? Even the Patreon exclusive posts, they weren't actually uploading anything. And so I just thought, well, since it was end of December, I didn't want to pay like another £3 for someone to do nothing, basically. And it does say on the £3 tier that they give MP3s every month. And it's like, oh my word. And by the way, I was a patron to this person for about 16 months, I think. I'm very sure it was 16 months, but there you go. It's where it's like, you know. Oh, and by the way, there was another Fallout story, and it's, oh my word, I can't believe this. This was over a mobile phone, right? And it was like 2 parents, right? I don't even know who these people are. They're just, someone else has told me about this, right? And it's where there were like these 2 parents, a mum and a dad, right? And where the dad said to the wife, here, let me see your phone. I want to see what you've been on, right? And she said no. And then he's like, can you show me it right now? And she just said no. And then he like pushed her over, and then she pushed him over and stuff like that, right? And they didn't talk to each other for ages, all because of a mobile phone. And it's just like, oh my word. And it's where this same man, right, I don't even know what his name was. So even if I did know his name, I wouldn't say it here, right? And it's and it's where she was like asking the same thing, saying, let's see what's on your phone then, one other time, right? And it's where I said, no, I'm doing my business stuff. It's like, well, why are you taking your phone into the toilet then? It's like, oh, I need to do my business while I'm at the toilet. It's like, what? It sounds like to me that he's been gambling or something, because for some reason when people gamble, some people do this anyway, and it's where when some people gamble, they're not like doing it in public. I don't know why. It's just like, you have to do it secretly at a toilet or something. So, I think that he might have been gambling. I don't know. So, you know, it's just like, I can't believe people even have Fallouts over a mobile phone. And it's like, why? It's just a rectangular object with something on a screen. It's like apparently technology comes before people. But there you go. So, please don't have Fallouts over a mobile phone or a doorway. But there you go. By the way, one of the 3 people I had a fallout with was actually that same person who said, my grandma had a stroke last week. And then went around and said, hey look, Pyra from Xenoblade Chronicles fan art for you 2 boys on Patreon that you can have on time. And that was while I was waiting 4 months for something. It's just like, oh my word. But no thanks, I'm not going back to that person. I already made a separate rant video about them, but there you go. Really wish the MP3 person didn't suddenly stop uploading anything onto Patreon, because I really liked getting 3 MP3s every month. And I also liked the person working hard for us. I don't understand why they stopped completely without an explanation, yet they can update themselves no problem on Twitter. I don't understand. And I've been a patron for over a year, so that's a lot of MP3s I got from them. And they are really high quality MP3s and all. Oh well, at least I got them in my library. And no, I'm not going to give them out because I agreed to not share the MP3s. I still like the MP3 person, believe it or not. So I've not actually fallen out with them because stopping the pledge isn't a fallout. So in other words, I just like stopped my pledge over on Patreon for that person. So I've not actually had a fallout. So, you know, a fallout is when you or the friend says something along the lines of, I'm done with you type thing. If the MP3 person came back and they were actually being honest from the point onwards, and they had to give MP3s every month, and they actually did it properly and everything, and they did the live stream thing properly as well, I'd actually welcome them back. But until then, I am not paying them to do nothing, basically. At least I can go to their Twitter page for free, so there is that. The MP3 person is mountains better than the other 3 people I spell out with, because the other 3 kept lying, unfortunately. And some of them were like, oh, pay me in full, oh, sorry, this happened, oh, well, oh, sorry, that happened, and they're just, you know, they're just basically messing about with me. I don't understand why people need to lie so much. Even most politicians lie in the UK. I don't get it. Most politicians, mind you. There's a few politicians I actually like, believe it or not, but, you know. Wow, 11 minutes into the video and I haven't coloured the scarf or the armour in yet. Anyway, the music person over on Patreon has over 1 million subscribers, which that is loads. I'm still sitting at 115 subscribers as of February 2022, but hey, at least I'm still trying, so well done to the music person. If only they would resume making MP3s and stuff, but you know. The main reason why the music person integrated the pay me to interrupt me lots idea is because the music person isn't going to be able to talk to 1 million people all day, are they? They have to put something in for the people who are super fans and reward them for giving cash in the first place. Also, the music person needs to earn their living. I still can't believe people are like saying in comment sections, I can't pay $1, or oof, paid access! Do these whiny people think someone who has over 1 million subscribers are going to be able to talk to each and every person in existence without money to pay their bills? At least the music person is fair with their prices. They didn't charge like £10 for 1 MP instead of £3 for like 3 MPs a month. And the whiny people who don't want to pay are either just too poor or really stingy. You can't even buy much for $1, and I use pounds since I'm from UK. In any case, I think I should talk about me in this video I am doing, rather than talk about MP3 people. That's clearly nothing to do with my arts video I'm doing. Yeah, I think I'm going to need to adjust the armour and belt because it's not going to look right if the chest looks too thin or if it looks too wide, so gotta make it look right. Besides, this affects how the legs will look later on. I mean, no one is going to look correct with skinny legs but wide chest or vice versa, will they? Got to get proportions right. I love how one time I got 2 comments from 2 different people, right? I had one comment saying, "Whoa, your female characters look skewed, their female characters' proportions don't look right." That is hilarious for him to say that, since I saw his own characters on his own channel, and one of his characters had a nose which is way too big, like, you know, and had a female character that looked like a man, like literally. Like, come on, if you're going to tell someone who has over 10 years of art experience what to do, then at least get your own art proportions right first. I also got a comment stating the obvious, telling me to use references, and I even told them I've done that already. These people are not giving very good advice, to be honest, especially since they are not happy with the way I do things. When I'm like thinking, why should I have to change my art style just for one person on the internet? That's like telling Vincent van Gogh to make his flowers look nicer when the person who complains doesn't even have flower images that look anywhere near his art level. But that's just an example. So ladies and gentlemen, stick to whatever style you like. Don't go around making changes to your videos just for one person who won't show you their face. Unless it's something like making HD videos rather than making low quality fuzzy videos, that's definitely something you should do. If someone asked me to make 4K videos instead of 1080p, then I would unfortunately have to tell them, sorry, I can only make it 1080p. And wow, I just realised I had to move my character's neck again. This happens a lot off screen. And by the way, back when I made the canteen scene back in the Singing Tricks Part 1, there were 6 characters in it. So I had to make the proportions of all 6 of them look right. That canteen scene back in Singing Tricks Part 1 took ages. At any rate, 4K videos slow down most people's PCs or laptops, so that's why I stick to 1080p videos. It's been known 4K gaming or watching 4K videos tend to damage laptops or PCs much quicker than lower resolution qualities. I've read on reddit.com that there tends to be a lot of frame drops when trying to record games or something else, so that's why I make my videos in 1080p. I own a 1080p quality monitor, hence why I also make my videos in 1080p. Some of my oldest videos are in 720p, and I can see a big downgrade in 720p quality instead of 1080p. I have seen 4K videos on a big screen and the difference isn't much, so I don't understand why people love 4K televisions. I don't get it. Oh, by the way, in relation to bad body proportions, I did see this one character from an anime called Super Sonico. And no, not the hedgehog. I'm talking about this human, pink-haired anime girl called Sonico. Not Sonic. Sonico. This is someone entirely different. Once I saw this Sonico episode and she had fat legs at one angle and she was talking to this other female character and I was like thinking, why are Sonico's legs so fat? But the rest of it looks slim at that angle, and I couldn't stop laughing like, wow. Other people commented the same thing, so I am definitely not making this up. I could post an image on screen, but nah, I'm going to keep the overlay images that belongs to me for this episode. Besides, I can't remember exactly which episode it was. Oh, by the way, the Super Sonico anime is not for kids. There's quite a few inappropriate parts in it. So just letting you know, skimpy outfits and stuff. I've already said this a bunch of times on my channel, but in case you are new, I did base this armour from Proto Man from Mega Man games. The classic version mainly. There are 2 versions of Proto Man, the classic counterpart and the .exe counterpart. Classic Proto Man has a yellow scarf, whereas the EXE version has white, long hair instead. Classic Proto Man has a yellow scarf, whereas the EXE version has white, long hair instead. To be fair, I did say in a couple of other videos, inspiration is fine, because Proto Man is based off Cyborg 009. Since Cyborg 009 has brown hair, yellow scarf, and red clothing, and Proto Man has the same 3 features, you know. I'd say that's more like inspiration rather than copying. Also, Copen from his Zero Striker gun vault is based off Proto Man, and he even has a shield like him. And Copen even gets 8 new weapons after defeating bosses in the exact same way Proto Man or Mega Man does. In a way, if Copen is allowed to get special weapons like Mega Man characters do, then technically nobody can really complain, can they? Because, you know, Copen is owned by Intercreates, and Intercreates helped make Mega Man Zero games and Mega Man ZX games ages ago anyway, so it does kind of make sense. However, I really don't think a game called Rose and Cruz de Letter gets away with it, because they've been like, you know, straight up copying, and I'll tell you why in a minute. Oh yeah, I already said this in my Mega Man 7 Let's Play, but there is this total Mega Man rip-off game that isn't even made by former Capcom employees or anything. There is this game called Rose and Cruz de Letter, and it's basically girl versions of Robot Masters. Mainly rip-offs of the Mega Man 2 characters. It's crazy. Even the main character Spiritia has totally copied off Mega Man. She charges and slides the same way Mega Man does. And she gets special weapons in the exact same way as well. And her hair colour changes, but, you know. Heck, Rose and Cruz de Letter even copied the stage select screen for Mega Man games, where there's like 8 characters stages to pick from, and it's done in a grid sort of layout. It's like, come on, Urkez. By the way, Urkez is the one that came up with this game, you know, this wannabe game. but it's like, come on, Urkez, you can do better than this. I'm surprised this game is still on Steam even right now. Yes, I actually checked. Rosencrantz Letter is still on there. It's like £7. It's like, no, I'm not buying that. So yeah, there is a big difference between inspiration and straight up copying. Inspiration is just basically using a few similar features, whereas straight up copying is like Rosencrantz Letter, where Urkez copied literally 90% from Mega Man games, and didn't even try to make it their own, like, not very much. The only thing they made up is pretty much the girls in it, and that's it. Only like their appearances, because they don't look anything like the Mega Man characters, but that's it. But like gameplay wise, it's just like, you know, it's just like exactly the same. By the way, outside of Mega Man and Azure Striker Gunvolt and even Mighty Number 9, there's already Metal Armor characters out there anyway, because there's a game series called Phantasy Star, where there's actually characters in there that actually have metal armor on, and even have arm cannons like Mega Man characters do anyway. And also there's a character that's very well known, especially because of Smash Brothers, called Samus Aran, and she has a metal suit on as well, and she even has an arm cannon and shoots energy bullets out of it. So, you know, the people can't really say, oh my word, your end character looks like Proto Man. It's like, he's meant to look like Proto Man. And besides, there's a lot of metal armor characters out there. In fact, there's a Phantasy Star 4 character called Ren. He has metal armor and even uses an arm cannon in the similar way Mega Man characters do anyway. And he's actually got a human face and black shiny hair, so he looks really human looking compared to a lot of other robot based characters in Phantasy Star games anyway. Oh yeah, by the way, N is the only character in the whole series that's actually got metal armor on. Every other character doesn't actually have metal armor. So yeah. Well, nearly finished the staff and body armor. I did mention back in part 1 of the above Viewpoint drawing series, I am going to showcase how to add eye blink. The thing with eye blink is it usually takes 4 hours for me to complete it off screen. But doing it on screen with editing software, which I use Movie Studio 17, will take longer. And I am planning to make part 3 be where I draw the legs of my main character. I also did mention this back in part 1, but not in full detail. This exact angle is going to be used in 2 scenes of my Singing Tricks series. The first scene this will be used is in this district area, which will be in part 3 of the Singing Tricks story arc that I'm making. And the second time will be at the concert right before Yua appears. Pretty sure you saw Yua in one of my animations, but just in case I'll put a card on the top right corner so you can see. I'm just thinking if I should draw both the main character's arms on episode 4 or not. I haven't decided that yet. Apologies, I talked about myself having fallouts with online people earlier on in this video. I guess this world isn't full of sugars and rainbows. However, I did donate towards site savers a couple of times, and I was informed of great news. I saved 2 African people's eyesights. Charity works like magic. You should try giving to charity. It feels great saving people's lives out there. I am going to need even more layers in the next few videos, because I just realized I am going to need 1 layer for the sword arm, and 1 for the arm cannon, and I'm going to need 1 layer for the legs. I love how episode 1 of this is literally 39 minutes long, yet this video I'm making right now is like 25 minutes long. I did say this many times, but the character's face and hair takes the longest. Most people suggest drawing from the head first, which I totally agree. I did a test a long time ago, and I drew Mario from his boots first, and man, that was a bad place to start. Because Mario's head looked a bit too small, and this was a physical drawing, mind you, meaning a lot of rubber marks were left on that one page. So yeah, I think it's easier to start with the character's face first, then the hair second, then the torso third, then legs 4th in line, then arms 5th in line. You can pick to do the arms before legs, but I think legs should be 4th in line to draw up, since then you can see the height of the overall character, which will help determine how long the arms need to be. After all, I don't like the idea of drawing the arms before legs, then realize after I draw the legs I have to change the arms afterwards. Another reason why my drawings take ages is because this character image is not symmetrical, hence this takes longer. I think the character being asymmetrical is why episode 1 of the above Viewpoint series reached 39 minutes. I mean, I did have to draw 2 different eyes that were angled differently, and the ear had to be moved like 3 times, like, oh my word! The ear was quite annoying to change back in episode 1. Man, these guides help a lot. I did say back in episode 1, guides are optional, but I now realise how helpful they can be. I think I am being a bit too reliant on guides in this episode, but it doesn't cost much time to place them on and take them off. The only thing with guides is I have to keep toggling the lock guides and unlock guides option, so I don't drag the guides out of place by accident. The guides are also helpful when snapping lines to areas, which you will see me do during these drawing tutorials. Right, nearly done. Let's finish off by colouring the front shoulder pad and order the layers so the back shoulder pad is behind everything else, while placing the front pad in the front of everything else, otherwise the main character isn't going to look right. Fortunately, because I don't have more than 20 layers right now, this isn't very confusing for me to solve. To be fair, I've done this for over 8 years, so I don't think I will forget how to order layers anytime soon. I predict episode 3 of this drawing Viewpoint series will be 30 minutes long, judging I took over for 30 minutes drawing the geese's legs back in the How to Draw Anime series I did a while ago. I think episode 3 won't be uploaded at least 2 weeks from now, so please be patient. It's free education after all. Right, there you go. It's done. That's actually end of the video. Thank you for watching the video. If you want to actually show your support, you may click like, share, or subscribe to my channel. You can even do all 3 of them if you want to. So yeah, and with that, I'll end off the video. So thanks you for watching.